Smart contracts are here for cash, but does that mean the price is going to moon? Does that mean that Binance is about to list it? Well, you may be disappointed. But one thing, I will always tell you the truth, and I've done a lot more research on these L2 smart contracts via Castplex. In this video, we're going to break down everything that I have learned and why I do not think it is going to lead to a Binance listing, but I will end with what needs to happen for Kaspa to get max attention and achieve a top 5 cryptocurrency role as we all think it can, guys. As always, none of this is ever financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and cryptocurrency is extremely risky. Now let's get into Kaspa. Is Binance about to list a Kaspa? After all, smart contracts less than 20 hours away, and Binance is talking about smart contracts. Is Binance going to list Kaspa? No. No, they're not. And I made a video a couple days ago, extremely bullish on Castplex smart contracts L2, but I seen a comment come in that was on the other side of the napkin. Maybe not so bullish, not thinking it was the right thing to do. So I was always have to break in here real quick. Michael Sutton, the lead developer, core developer over at Kaspa, just posted something. He said, just 5 minutes ago at the time when I originally seen it, a few points that come to mind this evening, and I've read this, but he's talking about the Castplex L2s. And I just want to say what I'm about to talk about in this video, or what I am talking about, is about why these L2s are centralized and why I am not that bullish on them. And you can see, because Castplex has not released their open source code, and this may come later in the video. I don't know when I'm going to insert this, but in order, this is Michael Sutton, core developer at Kaspa, as we can see right here. He says, in order for this normal L2 operation to be decentralized, other than Cas bridging, which must hold some form of trust, its code base must be open source and independent validators must be able to run it as they wish. I respect the decision not to immediately open source something you worked on and hold significant intellectual property, but the trade-off is clear. Until the L2 is fully open source, there is a degree of centralization. That's exactly what this video is about. Just bringing a little bit of caution that this is centralized L2. The code is not open source, but bravo to Castplex for bringing the first smart contracts to a Kaspa. I'm not sure where I'm going to insert this into this video. My goal is just to be as transparent and as honest as possible. Now let's get back into this and exactly why I do not think Binance is coming to list it and what Kaspa has to do. Because if we are at a revolutionary point in cryptocurrency, if the blockchain that solved the tri-limit did it better than Bitcoin, except they've now got smart contracts, do you really think we would be the only ones to know it, right? Us and maybe Scape over here that we see on CoinMarketCap. Do you really think we'd be the only one to know it? Because actually it has sold down since then. And if we really want to go back and look at the point where the first KRC20s have came out, we have been down since then. And the reason that I am saying this is because it's not like there's some underlying data that's bullish on the network right now. And I just want to say, stop. I am bullish on Kaspa, but my timeline may be a little different than yours. That's all that I want to say. So when we come over here and look at it, let's say you're just trying to raise a family, you, a wife, and a dog, maybe. Let's look at this. Let's see. This day, we collected 6.37K Kaspa for the overall network at 9 cents per cash. So that's about $637. Not a bad day for an individual, but a pretty bad day for a network, if I have to say. If you take a look at hash rate is down from up here at 1.44 exahash all the way down here, about 50% or more from the highs, actually over 50%, down here to about 0.7. Now, it does look like it's consolidating. I actually did put this out about 3 or 4 months ago that it looked like it was going towards this 600 petahash, 0.6 exahash range, guys. And also, when we come over here and we look, all the large holders are coming out. If you just look over the last 90 days, right here, 10 whales have been lost, 17 sharks, 415 dolphins, and 1,800 fish. And that's exactly why the chart looks like this when smart contracts just got announced. So I decided to start looking into it a little bit. Am I too smart? Am I part of this very small circle that knows Kaspa smart contracts are about to come out, and I'm the only one bidding this extremely early. Is that really true? Or is there another side to this? Is it maybe not as bullish as I originally thought? So let's get into it. Let's get into it a little bit. So I first came over here to Kaspa Unchained because they don't want to be Kaspa because that's too much like centralized, but they want to be unchained. So we're going to let them be unchained. And I came over here and looked at their bad self, following absolutely nobody, making this big problem out of absolutely nothing with the website, but I'm over that. And I was like, okay, let's see what they're saying about smart contracts. Okay. They haven't said anything about smart contracts. Let's see. They posted a fake Kaspa debit card. Okay, lightning bolt. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Oh, okay. Then they start talking about CZ over here. What else are they talking about? Okay, Kaspa transactions, a good retweet. Oh, look, another cool picture. Wow, wow. Gosh, I'm still not over. I said I'm done talking about it, but the stuff behind this page, you guys, the person that made all this problem for nothing, digital money built by pioneers, led by the people. The people with no fees. So, guys, I'm just telling the truth because we have Casplex coming out with smart contracts, the first protocol for Kaspa, and I'm extremely excited about it. Like I said, I made a video that did well, that I am excited about the idea of smart contracts on the best proof of work network that solved the trilemma. But solving the trilemma with sending crypto back and forth is not the end game anymore in 2025. It's got to have smart contracts. We have to bring DeFi, stablecoins, everything onto the network. We have to have a vibrant meme coin sector. And so the first red flag for me, if I'm just playing the other side, right? My last video was extremely bullish. Now I'm just being honest about the other side of things, is that the main Kaspa page, what used to be the main Kaspa page, but now they're unchained, haven't talked about it, right? And so you coming over to Casplex, they're talking about it, saying that the WE standard, because it's an EVM, is, they're starting to work on that and everything. And all of this should be out now by the time this video is posted. But I've seen this right here. Congratulations to Casplex for the upcoming launch tomorrow. I wanted to share my 2 cents. This is Ori Newman over on X. Casplex still didn't open source their project. That means where the code's available for everyone to see. And I just want to say, even if I could read the code, I would not be able to tell you if it was good or not. But there's a lot of intelligent people around the world that could. And I actually seen this earlier when I was driving. I had to bookmark it so I could come back to it. And this Caspador said, "Hi, Ori. The open source part, Casplex will gradually open source the code." And I'm sure that they're wanting to protect themselves in this. But the truth is, if the code was good, you wouldn't care, right? So it's kind of like somebody being worried about something. I don't know. This is just me playing the other side of the napkin, like I said, guys. And for the second point, I need to tag this person. So I come over here and I take a look at this person, who it is. And take a look. They have some pictures posted right here, but JH. And it says simply someone at Kaspa Kef. And if you take a look at this Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation, these people advocate for advancing Kaspa around the world. And basically what they say, what the TLDR, too long didn't read, says about this, basically, the only network that has, smart contracts that are not native, that have successful layer 2s, are pretty much just Ethereum. When you take a look at all of these Bitcoin layer 2s, none of them do absolutely anything. They're not successful. And so whenever we come take a look at this, seriously, Ethereum has Arbitrum, okay? It has Base Chain, it has Optimism, but when you come take a look at all these others, they don't have it. So if we go through the evolution of cryptocurrency, we had Bitcoin, hard money, digital money, but couldn't program it, couldn't make smart contracts. So boom, then Ethereum came out, and then the evolution was, this is great, this is super strong, all of that, but it's kind of expensive, and we kind of should work on that a little bit. So then bam, Solana came out, and then others came out that were like, hey, look, we are cheap, we're all of this, we're good for 95% of everything that's going to be going on in cryptocurrency. And so now you have Kaspa that's like, hey, I'm like Bitcoin, I'm a better Bitcoin, but I do not have the smart contracts that Sui, Solana, Ethereum, any ETH layer 2 has, unless I am going to make a layer 2, and that's how it is right now. Hopefully this changes, and I can't wait for actually native L1 smart contracts to come out. But then again, when I think about it, if native L1 smart contracts were extremely close for Kaspa, why would anybody like Casplex be spending time, resources, investments, monies into making an L2 for Kaspa? To me, that tells me that they do not think the L1 smart contracts is coming out in 3 months, in 6 months, because all this work they've been doing, which I'm sure is very good, high quality work, would be rendered obsolete, And so I think all of these concerns, whether it's Ori or it's him talking about right here about how L2s do not last. This is at 141 haha on X. It's true. It's true. If you really sit back and take a look at it, the only ecosystems with layer 2s that do well are built off of Ethereum, and the other ones, to be frankly honest, don't need it. They're already cheap. And if you want to talk about the security factor, I completely agree. And I still believe that the best option for that is Kaspa, but it needs native L1, native to Kaspa smart contracts. And that is when you will start to see growth and adoption. And we might start seeing growth and adoption with Casplex. I really hope it does. And I'm extremely excited about it. And I think they've done a great job building this project. Just as a influencer, as somebody that wants to bring you information, I want to make sure I'm always bringing you the good and the bad if both sides exist. And I want to make sure it is so important to me to be transparent about that, which is why I am coming back with this video right now. But there's a lot of good projects built over on Kaspa already that are really needing a volume, because the truth of the matter is the only way we are going to see this price go up in a sustainable manner. I'm not saying that, some influencer couldn't talk about them and they do a 2x, 2 to 4B market cap. Yes, maybe it would sell off, but the only way we get real demand, the only way Kaspa gets a chart that looks like this with real demand for things that are built on Solana, real things that are built on Kaspa, cycle after cycle, the only way is going to be, in my opinion, with native smart contracts, because we could see that the market is not seeing the value in it right now, because unless we're in this small circle of geniuses, guys, and I do not think we are, because I am not that smart, that we're the only ones seeing this down 15% the last 7 days. And yes, I know the entire market is down bad, but Caspa's still down worse than, half the market, at least, looking at these 3, 4, 15, things are down, don't get me wrong. But if you had such a bullish advancement coming, then you would kind of think that it would be running maybe like Aster's running. Where's that at? Aster's something up 200% on the week, right? Like, these are big advancements. We're a much smaller market cap, right? It's only about 70% the size of Aster right now. So I'm extremely excited about the long term of Kaspa. I do believe this is the best crypto ever. I believe it solved the trilemma. I believe it's a better version than Bitcoin, but I don't think that it's going to be truly mainstream successful unless that there is native smart contracts. But I still believe that Casplex could break the fold, and this really could be the only other network besides Ethereum that's had successful L2 smart contracts. But the only way Binance is going to list it is if there is actual traction. The only way this chain is going to last and have sustainable cycle after cycle growth like something like Ethereum, Solana, is if people actually use the network. Okay, the network can't be bringing in a middle income salary, middle class American salary as the daily fees. It just absolutely can't be doing that. But I want to know if you agree more with the first video of being extremely bullish on Casplex, or if you think any of these concerns that were brought up today about layer 2 smart contracts on Kaspa are valid. Watch this video up above, and if you're not a part of the Finance Freeman family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.